lots of manpower and a bit of brute force, we can make anything happen. Let's go.
Why did it have to be now? Who the hell are you?
We've come to take you in. Would it clear things up if I mentioned the name Kirijo?
One Labrys looks at me and yells in rage, but the other one recoils in horror.
No! I'll never go back there!
And she runs. Crap! She ran off.
Damn it! Get back here!
Back here, bitch! The other one dashed after the first one, immediately trying to pursue them, but
Hey, wait a second! Who are you?
the main girl in the green warm-up jacket stops me. If I recall correctly, she was the female student introduced as a carnivore in that commercial.
I need to go after them. You're better off forgetting what you just saw.
Wait! You can't just...
She appears to be uninjured, and I can't lose time dealing with her. I ignore her and book it after Labrys.
Hold it right there, Buster!
That voice. She caught up to me though I'm running at full sprint. She must be quite an exceptional athlete. But I can't drag her into this. This is my duty. Should I even run hard? Should I run even harder? It might cause me to redline my heart rate, and that would deaden my legs for any upcoming fights. Or should I convince her to leave? Fortunately, it seems that both of those options have been taken off the table now. I wrap my fist where there is nothingness. Distance, another invisible wall. This isn't the enemy's way of buying time. Sure enough, the female student catches up to me. She confronts me as she tries to regain her breath.
You're gonna tell me what's going on!
So she wants an explanation. No harm in telling her what's going on since your friends are already caught up in this mess. There's no need for them to learn details about it. They just return to the real world. They could get out while keeping relatively normal lives.
What good would that do you?
What?
I'm here on a certain mission. You could even call it a duty. My resolution is nothing like yours, based on curiosity.
A duty?
I hit the invisible wall.
Ridiculous Grand Prix is still going on.
What? Wait, you mean...
Girl hurriedly reaches around at the space behind her. So expecting her hand hits an invisible wall as well. The wall didn't exist when I first passed through that area.
We're trapped. So, like, do we...
That's what you get for coming after me so recklessly. The rule that one opponent must be defeated is still in effect.
She may be a girl and a student, but I don't intend to go easy on anyone as long as I have a mission to complete. And release the aura that instantly silenced so-called tough guys all around the world. Hoping that she would quietly back down before I had to go this far. Even though my aura dampened the girl's resolve a bit, she didn't even take a step back.
Alright, I accept.
Huh. Why are you willing to go to such lengths to catch up to Labrys?
I don't know why. I just know that she was in pain. I don't know if my reasons are better or worse than yours, but I can't turn my back on her.
Foolish words of a child. There's a fire in her eyes that makes up for her lack of reason. Gotta say, I prefer that far more than wasting time with needless chatter. Definitely piqued my interest a bit.
Alright. To answer your question, what you saw was the 5th generation anti-shadow suppression weapon Labrys. She was given a heart so she could use a persona.
A weapon? Then she really is a robot. But she's so cute. And she even sounds like a normal girl.
She has a perplexed look on her face. Even though she's already seen those mechanical arms and legs, it must be hard to believe that a robot could be that lifelike.
Oh, so that's what her lost memories were about. And since she has a heart, she has a shadow too.
She has a shadow? Do you mean the thing where there's 2 of her?
Girl does her best to explain the structure of the TV world to me. The world inside TV apparently mirrors the feelings of those who enter it, and its appearance changes accordingly. It tells me that this fake school was most likely created from Miss President, Labrys' psyche. She also explained that the repressed inner thoughts within oneself separate inside the TV world to become a shadow. That those shadows try to kill their originators and replace them.
I get it now. The mastermind behind all this isn't Labrys, but her shadow.
I think that's it anyway, but I wonder what's with this tournament. What could she have wished for to make this happen?
I have some suspicions about that. Labrys may have been forced to do some inhumane things while she was in development. Her original circumstances may be related to the setup of this Grand Prix.
The girl goes pale upon hearing my words. Jateira would be unimaginable for those living ordinary lives.
This tournament is a reenactment of what Labrys went through in her past?
Even Mitsuru doesn't know that for sure. If there's anyone who can claim to, it would be Labrys herself.
That's all I can tell you. If you still want to search for her, you'll have to defeat me to move on. What'll it be?
The girl holds her tongue for a moment, but it isn't because of fear or hesitation. Could tell from the look in her eyes she's made up her mind.
If Labrys wished to make us go through what she went through, that means she wanted to be understood. She wanted someone to save her.
That's just your guess, though.
But if it's possible I'm right, then I can't abandon her. That's why I won't go back until I've saved her. Her heart is worth fighting for.
Save, huh? Her eyes tell me that she completely believes what she's saying.
What's your name? Mine's Akihiko Sanada.
I'm Chie Satonaka, a third year at Yasogami High.
I like the fire in your eyes. Then let's fight. Let's see whose passion comes out on top.
Let's go. Nothing left to do but the fight.
Final.
I didn't realize for a fighter he really didn't really have that many battles. Whoa, what the fuck? There you go. I like that one combo I did. There we go.
Looks like I win.
Ah, damn it, this sucks. I lost. Oh well.
Jeez,
Hey,
smiling
Chie.
brightly.
You don't get to go search for Labrys like you wanted and you're laughing?
Well, I figured either way you'd save her. Labrys, I mean.
Can't resist cracking a little smile at Chie's words. Seems she's naive, but she saw right through me. Guess she's sharper than she looks. One of my mission priorities was to limit collateral damage. To achieve that, I thought that destroying Labrys might be my only option. But now that plan has been scuttled. Current plan is to save Labrys and protect her. If I'm able to succeed in that, all danger in the surrounding area will be prevented. I'll commit myself to this plan from now on.
Can I ask you to give her a message? Please tell her I said I was sorry for saying such cruel things and doubting her. Let her know I really want to talk with her when this is all over. Anyway, just tell her I apologized.
Yeah, I'll let her know.
Chie's words are clumsy as ever, but what she lacks in speaking ability and vocabulary, she makes up for with
I
emotion.
need to thank you, Chie.
Huh?
On my way here, I was told that my strength was fake, that I was just immersing myself in training to escape my fear of losing others, that I was just sticking my head in the sand. And that was true. The reason I'm so hard on myself is because I'm scared. That might be a weakness of mine, but watching you made me realize it's okay to be like that. No, I don't want to lose anyone again. Ever. But that's how I can become stronger. Sheer raw strength is pointless. Getting the ability to see your deepest wishes through is true strength.
That's a little abstract, but
go
I
with
guess
it.
it's a compliment, though I still feel a little embarrassed about it.
I can't help but smile as well. If I want to save Labrys, I leave Chie and attempt to make good on my
Wait
promises.
here for me. I'll bring Labrys back no matter what.
And there we go. As I run, things that happened during my recent training and the things happening in this world start to remind me of each other. An old acquaintance face flashed into my mind. Someone who took good care of me, someone I haven't seen in a while. Kurosawa-san. I heard that he'd been promoted to detective, but hadn't been able to personally congratulate him for that yet. It's another place I need to go visit.
Once this is all over, I should go see him too.
After being forced to travel a circuit. After being forced to travel a circuitous path, I was eventually led back to the very room I was in a few minutes ago. The announcement room. Push the door ajar and find Labrys inside. But is she the real one or the Shadow? When Labrys sees me, she seems genuinely frightened.
You again? You came all this way after me?
Reaction, the color of her eyes, this didn't match any of the characteristics she had told me the Shadows would possess. It seems this is truly the real one. Looks like she was still safe. But she denies her shadow.
Come with me. I won't let you get hurt.
I must take her into custody at once. And I won't let you get hurt. Take a step forward and hold out my hand. Labrys backs away, terrified, and keeps her distance.
I'm never going back there. I never want to get put through that again. I'm gonna run away. Just you watch me.
And where will you go? Is that how you're gonna solve everything? You won't even listen, huh? Fine. I didn't think anything I said would be enough to earn your trust. So come at me with everything you've got. I'll accept you for who you are.
Shadow will try and replace the originator. If I lose Labrys, I won't be able to fulfill my duty. Is my strength enough to grant my wish? Something told me that the results of my training were about to be their first real test. Let's go.
Final. Fight!
Yeah, like I can't repeat that combo I did on Chia. Whatever. Two fifths of protein junkie.
Why won't anyone understand?
She's finally stopped moving. Last expression tells me that she's not all there right now. She's not all there right now. Wonder if I can get through to her now. Just as I'm about to speak. Only sensed the wind for a moment. And detected the ambush from behind. Giant axe spun at such high speed that it looked like a circular blade to the naked eye. No matter what part of the axe hits my head, it'll decapitate me for sure. But better not to let it hit me then.
Oh, that's a pretty dangerous looking electric fan you've got there.
Shadow glowers at me with an expression of pure hatred. The murderous intent she shows is like any of the petty thugs I face, howling with rage as they try to land a punch. I'm in her head now. Looks like the real showdown's finally arrived. That's all she has to say is damn. Having squandered a chance at an ambush, the Shadow angrily prepares her next move. Labrys off-sees the Shadow and lets out Shaq the Yelp.
Please stop! This ain't what I wanted!
Hey, calm down. This is your Shadow. It's you, isn't it?
Shadows form from the why can't I speak? Shadows form from the repressed parts of yourself. That's what she had told me. After hearing the truth, Labrys continues to shake her head and deny it.
What good will accepting it? If I accept it, then I'm just...
That's right. There's no way he'd understand. The Kirijo group created you as a tool. Of course, that's the only way they can think of you.
My words will not reach Labrys while she's like this. Shadow's cruel words have a tight grip on her heart. It isn't easy to support someone whose weakness has filled them with doubts and taken over their heart. I have to listen to what the Shadow has to say. This way I can understand the weaknesses that Labrys is harboring.
Not that you're any better. You didn't hesitate at all to attack him. It just shows your true colors. You want the everyday boys and girls to experience what you had to go through, right? That's why we're in a school, having a fighting tournament. You want to see close friends fight for their lives against each other. Because if they do that, then they might understand. You want to make them understand.
That ain't true!
But it was no use. They didn't understand and kept getting in your way. It's all right, though. You don't have to worry about that anymore. I'll take care of everything from here. I'll destroy anyone who doesn't understand you and comes to get in your way. Just like you once did.
Stop it! That's all a lie. You're not me.
Shadow displays a satisfied smirk. She's waiting for the words of denial. It would be easy to just stop Labrys from saying those words, but it would be meaningless for me to do so. Keep my gaze on Labrys as she speaks the words of denial with finality.
You can't be me!
Yes, that's right! I'm not you! I'm myself! Yes, the power!
We all know too well what is happening. Hysterious.
I'm finally free! I won't let you or anyone else get in my way!
I stand before the Shadow, who is laughing insanely and surging with newfound power. That was actually quite impressive, but I know there's no need for me to fear it. This is where the real battle begins.
You really think I'm gonna make it that easy?
Shadow contorts her face. Those were the same words the Shadow threw at me before, after all.
What's that? You want to be destroyed that badly? Then I'll save her for later and crush you now!
I swore I'd protect Labrys. And I'm not gonna lose what I'm protecting ever again. Now, come get me!
Shut up, Kirito dog!
I'm the dog. But this dog got fists. Fists of steel. Fucking punch you to the moon and back. Of course, he'd have to go. He'd actually have to go to the moon to punch you back, but you get the idea. My soul reaped. I'm the dumbass. But you're over there. Full power. After silencing the Shadow, I stand before Labrys, but she casts her eyes down sadly.
Hey, what's with that face? Stand up and look at me.
I don't look that bad, do I?
I have a message for you from Chie.
Huh?
She wanted to apologize for doubting you and hurting your feelings. She was really sorry about what she said. She wanted to tell you herself, too. She was so determined to save your heart that she threw everything she had at me.
Chie-san said that?
Also, Mitsuru, the girl in charge of the Kirijo group, learned what happened to you and was mortified to hear of it. You still think no one understands? That your pain is unique to you?
I never thought of things like that. I never imagined anyone understood me, but that's...
I'm a machine, though. I'm not human. Labrys mutters and casts her eyes down again.
I don't know anymore. What am I supposed to believe?
You're human, so you must have the answer. Labrys gazes up at me expectantly. It's true that I have something to believe in, but I don't just have something to believe in simply because I'm human. Plenty of people walk the earth with nothing to believe. I had to find it and grab a hold of myself. Indeed, I found it only after facing down my own weakness.
Look, I don't know much about how you suffered in the past, or how many times your heart was broken.
Oof, sorry, I got the chills. Labrys.
Believe in yourself and keep standing up to the world. No matter how many times you fail,
Don't give
some
up.
things you have to grasp for yourself.
Labrys looks up. This time, she finally looks at me in the eye.
Myself?
That's right. If there's something you really want, fight for it. You'll never get it by running away. What's your strongest desire?
I...
Labrys falls silent. Sorry. I don't prod her for an answer. Can't rush this. It's something one must find by facing down themselves, searching their heart for the answer, and making it take form on their own. Can't help her find her way if she doesn't find it on her own. It will be meaningless. Labrys places her hand on her chest, to her chest. She then closes her eyes and loses herself deep in thought. Eventually, she opens her eyes again and looks at me.
I want people to understand how I feel.
Then there's someone you need to tell that to. And that's yourself over there.
When I point over at the shadow that's fallen silent, Labrys inhales sharply. Labrys' shadow is a part of herself that she just denied. But because she denied that part, she must also realize that there's a question she needs to answer. Why did I deny myself? I'm sure Labrys has found the answer already.
I get it. That's what you've been saying this whole time. In your own way. Yeah. I understand now.
After making this momentous realization, Labrys stands up to her own will and faces her shadow. This awful part of herself that she denied. Here we go.
I'm sorry I ignored you all this time. I was the one who left you all alone.
Yes.
No. You are me, after all. This is my persona. So this is the other me.
It's not easy accepting yourself, but you managed to get past that. Congratulations.
Thanks.
Labrys replies, slightly embarrassed, yet proud. It's the exact combination of emotion that I was hoping for.
We should get going. You have some things you want to tell Chie too, right?
As we leave the announcement room, Mitsuru contacts me. Once the shadow disappeared, all the interference it was creating went with it. The jamming, the invisible walls, all gone. I begin escorting Labrys back to the real world. Here we go. I follow Mitsuru's direction to reach the specified location. A number of people have already gathered. I noticed Teddy, Kanji, Chie, and others I had seen in the P-1 commercial as well.
Oh, phew! You're okay, Miss President. Or should I call you Labrys?
Chie-san.
In contrast to Chie's enthusiasm, Labrys looks towards me as if she's unsure about how to feel about everything. Before I can nudge Labrys over towards Chie rushes over and takes Labrys' hand. She smiles brightly after she confirms that Labrys is alright. Labrys cannot resist the infectious air of happiness and breaks into a smile of her own.
Hello, sorry, who are you?
I'm liking that look you've got going on. It's like you just single-handedly saved the world from an evil army.
Yosuke, don't be so rude!
That was rude. Chie turned towards me and bows energetically.
Akihiko-san, thank you for saving Labrys.
No need to thank me. I just delivered the message you left me with.
Don't you have some people you want to introduce Labrys to? After being prompted, Chie dashes off, tugging Labrys by her hand towards her friends, for waiting to greet them are everyday students. But none of them seem to be all that concerned by the fact that Labrys is an android. In fact, it seems like they're all welcoming her into the group with big smiles. Seems like they're a pretty open-minded bunch. As I'm watching them, I'm joined by some familiar faces.
Are you alright, Akihiko?
Saru and Igus. I raise my hand as a response to her. It's enough for Mitsuru to understand the situation and smile. Aiga stands next to me and gazes at the group of people gathered around Chie and Labrys.
It seems my sister has also forged a bond.
That takes you back, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. Though I am a machine, I understand what it means for people's hearts to come together. I would definitely like for my sister to learn that as well.
The battle that took place 3 years ago marked a major turning point, not just in my life, but for Aiga's and the others that fought alongside me as well. I was just to reach the same turning point. Watching this unfold for someone else feels nostalgic and heartwarming at the same time. Two, however, is standing unmoved. She furrows her brow and is sporting a look I know all too well. She's so trouble on her now of all times. Just notices the serious look on Mitsuru's face, speaks to her in a hushed tone.
Are you thinking of sealing my sister away again?
Don't tell me you're going ahead with that. I know you're in a delicate position, but I have serious issues with this.
No, you misunderstand. I realize full well the situation here. That's not what I was thinking about. What's bothering me is that the true culprit in this case never did show their face.
What? Didn't Labrys say she escaped here on her own?
That's what I thought most likely at the time, but that scenario doesn't match what we've learned since then. How did Labrys learn about this world? Why did she call in these other persona users?
You had some basic investigation done on Inaba, right? If she regained her consciousness a while ago, it's possible she infiltrated your network and found out about that stuff.
That's not my only doubt. Labrys' ability to cloud others' senses can only go as far as creating hallucinations. That's inconsistent with the ability to control people so thoroughly as to make them risk their lives in a hijacking. There's too much that doesn't add up.
That does seem suspicious.
Mitsuru's right. There are too many unexplained circumstances here. But why stand around worrying about it? All the answers we need are a few simple questions away. I call out to Labrys.
Labrys, how did you escape all the way here?
Huh? I was inside a chamber and...
Yep, there we go. Labrys tries to continue, but her body immediately goes completely rigid. It's no good, and I think I know what's gonna happen next. It looks like she's standing completely devoid of thought, but I know better.
Get back!
Shout out warning to everyone in the area. Prince immediately reaches out for the large axe in her back and brandishes it.
What a pain.
I have to protect Chie and the other civilians. Immediately take a step forward to engage the still expressionless Labrys. This is a different situation than our earlier battle. Since Labrys cannot use her persona, it's going to be a much more difficult fight. If we join forces to attack her, this would be a simple matter. However, Labrys' body has already taken a lot of damage from all the battles she's been in. No way of knowing if she survived a combined assault from us. Doubt and hesitation swirl around my mind and cloud my thoughts. I must make a decision and follow it with no regrets. It's when Mitsuru's sharp voice pierces the air.
Akihiko, buy me some time.
Looks like she has some kind of plan up her sleeve. Then, my course of action has been decided.
You got it!
Tightly ball my hand into the fist and extend it towards my opponent. I reiterate my vow.
Labrys, I will protect you no matter what.
Guess we're just doing the Shadow Labrys. I think it's the first Shadow Labrys fight in 2 stories. But is the Shadow gonna take my form again?
Final. Fight!
There we go.
Looks like I managed to keep her intact.
She just seems to be under the control of someone else. Does she strike down the one controlling her? But where could they be controlling Labrys from? Just I prepare to check the surrounding area for any outside a voice echoes from somewhere. Yep, there we go.
You resorted to your fists in the end after all. That's why people say your strength is fake.
Familiar voice I can't quite place. He doesn't know his own voice. Darkness manifests from out of nowhere and coalesces into the form of a person.
What is that?
It's another Akihiko-san?
Whoa! Is that Akihiko-san's shadow?
Darkness dissipates and what was left standing there was me. Like Labrys shot from before, he looks exactly like me. The only difference is in the eyes. While the others are stirring, he coldly declares,
You go on and on about resolve and whatnot. What have you been doing these past few years? Just training yourself to fight better, that's all. You haven't grown at all as a person. You're still running from your fear of losing people, just like before. So you are watching us. Looks like the mastermind of this thing has a lot of time to kill.
Huh?
and a lot of time to kill. He's taken aback by my taunt, but continues
What
on.
are you talking about? I came from the sea of your soul. Enough. You think you rattle me with that
He
tired
doesn't even
old
show
thing?
question marks, so is this actually his shadow? Shadow, no, the mastermind, arrogantly tries to rile me up, but his taunts are powerless against me. I'm not taking the bait. No anger, not even surprise. There's nothing rising within me. My heart was completely placid.
So you won't admit it. Then, rise again, my puppet. Dance until you shatter.
The enemy orders Labrys to stand. As if a puppet on strings, Labrys responds to the Shadow's command.
Looks like you've shown your stripes already. That power proves you're not my shadow. So what? You still have no choice but to suffer. Unless you destroy this thing, it will keep rising up and attacking you all.
Yeah, just say the same thing.
What will you do?
I glance over at Mitsuru, gives me a slight nod, and I laugh.
Sad to say, but this show is over.
It's over before it started.
What?
It means we won't fall for the same trick again. Yamagishi, now!
This was quick. As Mitsuru's voice sounds, the ominous presence lurking within Labrys was repelled. Turns out, the person who Mitsuru contacted before entering the TV world was Fuka. You see, her persona abilities could disrupt the control and Labrys without her having to enter the world.
Are you all okay? Fuka-san?
Fuka Yamagishi is a friend of ours who helped us greatly in the battle 3 years ago. She has an analytical persona, and she herself is a whiz at digging up useful information. The Asakami High students don't know anything about Fuka and are looking around in surprise.
Is this like Rise-chan's persona? Wait, where is she?
This feeling. What the? That voice. It's not coming from in here. Whoever it is out there.
Seriously? She can use hers in the real world? That's amazing.
That's not your shadow, Akihiko-senpai. It's just a fake mimicking your appearance.
Very impressive to get
This was just copy and paste.
such a long distance away.
You must be the one behind all this. You stole Labrys and threw her into a TV. You were after persona users from the start. That's why you chose this school and tampered with Labrys' memories. And you just demonstrated how you controlled those hijackers.
Why did you go after these students? What are you up to? Personas and shadows are one and the same. If I poison your hearts, I can recruit shadows with unparalleled strength.
Wait, what? You mean turn our personas back to shadows?
The heart is frail. Its weaknesses are never fully vanquished. Given the opportunity, it can betray you and return to darkness. Old wounds that you thought you had overcome opened once again. You almost let go of your hearts, your personas. This one's desire to make people suffer was perfectly suited for such a plan.
Plan?
You caused all this to gather strong shadows?
Why would you do such a thing?
All the loose ends are finally getting tied up. Let the enemy as he smugly reveals his grand scheme.
That's enough. I see now that there's no room for any more excuses.
I pull out my evoker, perform a summoning without this now, but I still can't just let it go. It serves as a constant reminder of those days fighting as a part of C's. It's so I don't forget the joy, the sorrow, and the losses from those days. Point the muzzle to my head just like I used to. Feeling of cold metal, the easy trigger pull.
You said before that I couldn't cast aside my fears.
Back then, I felt that I didn't care if I lived or if I died. Just want all the power I could manage. Whether I disregard my own life was because I secretly want someone to punish me. Or because I want someone stronger than I to forgive me and allow me to live. In either case, my resolution is no longer the
But
same.
I'll tell you something. People who have no fears end up dying early or throwing their lives away. My determination coexists with my fears. I know that death and loss are always close by.
Squeeze the trigger on my evoker, a nostalgic sensation. I was just a kid 3 years ago when I laid my life on the line. But now, though, I can't allow myself to die. In my heart, I know that I cannot lose this fight. I've accumulated all this power to protect others. I'm risking my life in order to stay alive and to keep my friends safe. This is my current determination.
And you still say you're my shadow?
If a shadow is just another form of one's persona, then...
My determination would never leave my side.
There we go.
Final. Fight! Full power! Yeah.
You're up.
Trying here, I know.
No wonder you managed to drive back a god once. I didn't think you'd resist this fiercely.
I thought that I had done some serious damage to that thing, but it seems it has no intentions of giving up this ridiculous charade. He nonchalantly carries on while still wearing my face.
This is fine with me. Good enough for my purposes. I've confirmed you have enough power to meet my expectations.
Good enough, my ass.
Who do you think you are? You're really pissing me off!
Mastermind contorts my face
I
into
doubted
an
there'd be
eerie...
any meaning in changing my appearance. But sure enough, it made for a very enjoyable game.
Mastermind contorts my face into an eerie smirk and chuckles.
I will see you in another guise next time. Just wait until then.
Oh, it's the same thing.
Wait!
Okay, bye. There's no way I'm letting you get away. Immediately close the gap between myself and him, but with a final smirk, he disappears. All that remains is his laughter.
Yamagishi.
The reading disappeared. It didn't move, it just vanished. What could this mean?
Back to square one again.
Bullshit! Don't you ever come back again!
Still, what was it planning on using our persona powers for?
It hasn't given up, right? And we'll see it again.
Indeed, based on what it said, I have every reason to assume that it'll return. And his objectives are still mostly unclear, and we don't even know who he is. We do have a lead, though. Look towards Mitsuru and Aigus. Well, I can't say this in front of the students. The fact that the mastermind knew about Labrys is a big clue. Probably dealing with someone related to Kirijo.
Don't worry about it. We'll handle things from here.
Wait, but it kinda said it was still after us.
Of course, you should be aware that the enemy is out there. Akihiko only means that there is no need to abandon your lives to pursue it. We will do our best to ensure that no harm comes to you. That is, after all, our duty.
Just leave the rest of the explanations to Mitsuru. Much better at saying the right things in these situations. In the meantime, I glare at the empty space where the enemy was.
The battle will go on, huh?
Oh, excuse me. The other members of the Shadow Operatives safely returned from inside the TV. Time to spend a day in Inaba doing follow-up stuff and leave quietly the next day.
I'm glad things went well. Oh, but first, it's good to see you again. This is becoming a real reunion.
Fuka looks behind her to the back seat. Mitsuru and Aiga smile at each other. Even for those of us who fought the battle 3 years ago, journeying into a world inside TV to retrieve a robot still sounds absurd. did, we managed to accomplish our mission. We retrieved Labrys and we kept the incident as contained as possible. However, our plan to leave quietly like a covert ops unit should was followed by the group of students.
They were certainly a lively bunch to the very end.
The two seems to have thought the lapse in security wasn't enough to stain the overall success of the mission and smiles. We recall smiling faces of those students as they came by to see us off from Inaba. I didn't think they should all show up. They turned the quiet departure we planned to a big scene. Labrys, who Mitsuru opted not to reseal, is still gazing out the rear window and waving to them.
Do you regret parting with them?
A little. But it's only a matter of time. I promised Chie and the rest that I'd definitely come back.
I wanted to see the Inaba group and say goodbye to them in person. Labrys was the one who insisted on a formal goodbye. Not only that, she herself decided to leave them for a while and join the Shadow Operatives. Even if it was unlikely that she could go to school with them, there may have been some way for her to see her new friends more often instead of joining up with our secret group. That wasn't what Labrys wanted. There are things I must do in order to pursue the mastermind that dragged us all into this incident. If I stay with the Shadow Operatives, I can accomplish those things. Those are her words. She has formed bonds, but rather than depending on them, she pushes forward. It must be why she's able to overcome a past filled with more grief than any ordinary person's. Her resolve is amazing. Not isn't the only one who gained a new determination in these lands either. In order to speak of my own resolve, straighten myself and face Mitsuru.
Mitsuru, may I talk to you?
What is it? It's unlike you to be so formal.
This won't be any time soon, but I'm thinking of leaving the Shadow Operatives eventually.
What?
Huh?
It doesn't seem as hard hit as the other members, but even she's looking at me with confusion in her eyes. This is actually something that I have been thinking about from the very beginning. These feelings have been smoldering inside me ever since I received my first mission. I finally found an avenue to direct those feelings. She seems to realize that it's something I've given a lot of thought to in response to in a business-like manner.
May I ask why?
There's something I want to do now. I can't do it while I'm part of an unofficial group like this.
People who fear random acts of violence and crime, people down on their luck who have no one they can turn to. I want to be someone they can rely on. There's one great power that protected me when I was faced with senseless acts of violence in the past, once that caused me great loss. It was an ordinary police officer. Right now, I'm forced to turn a blind eye to the plight of someone who, right now, I'm forced to turn a blind eye to the plight of some people. As long as I have to carry out with my obligations to a member of the Shadow Operatives, I won't be able to help them. I'm going to have to forego protecting some of the smaller things in order to deal with the bigger mission, the larger missions. He's helped me realize that I don't want to give up on those small things. I want to protect them.
I see. I think you would be well suited to it, Akihiko-san.
Becoming a police officer to protect one city would be great too. I'm not against working my way up through official channel to become a force for security. Great power is required to protect the larger group. And that power can't just come from my fists. There are greater and tangible powers to society as well. It wouldn't be a bad idea to work my way into the upper echelon as a government official either. Then again, I don't know if I'm cut out for all the bureaucratic stuff. Mitsuru had been quietly taking in all my muses until she interrupted my train of thought with some surprising words.
Of all the things you were going to say, that's it?
What do you mean that's it? Even I know it's pretty ordinary, but...
Whether you man a police box or become a career officer, you should do it. And if you do, then I'll consider your circumstances, to an extent, whenever I need you.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean?
For a moment, I couldn't understand what Mitsuru meant. She still wants you to be part of
are you
it.
planning on making me belong to 2 departments at once? You wouldn't use the Kirijo name for that, would you?
Bite your tongue? I won't do anything. But even if I don't, it'll happen on its own. You underestimate the organization's need for you. Leaving that aside, if you're going to wish to become something like that, then there's something you need to do first.
You're right.
Labrys is happy.
You need to train more and...
No, I meant going back to college.
Mitsuru certainly adds, you should follow Yamagishi's example. That reminds me, I took a leave of absence from college to go on my journey. To go back. I didn't have a problem with my classes while I was still attending. But what about now?
Do not worry, Akihiko-san.
I guess the Kirijo group's paying for the group's college.
I will calculate the units and time necessary for graduating, and plan the most effective curriculum for you.
I'll be counting on you, I guess. I've been thinking this for a while now, but Akihiko seems to need someone to manage him.
I'm honored.
Another trial for me to face.
Someone's in trouble.
Mechanic Labrys. Labrys interjects a joke at my expense and starts laughing. I guess Mitsuru and even Fuka warmly smile back at Labrys. For a robot, Labrys sure has great timing and a great smile. I give up and heave a deep sigh before leaning back into my seat. Labrys quickly formed new bonds in Inaba, and she will surely continue to form new bonds while she works within the Shadow Operatives. One's heart changes through encounters with others. It's always the same, whether your heart is covered with muscles or metal. Even if the culprit behind the incident were to appear again, he'd be no match to my new determination. The weather is great today. These cloudless skies are a perfect metaphor for any new resolve. For my new resolve, thinking about how fitting the situation is making me laugh to myself. Through all this traveling, I finally feel like I've taken a step forward. That's all there is to do it. Back to college with Akihiko.